If you lose your photos, that is your fault. Let me show you my backup system. I'm wedding and portrait photographer Vanessa here for Adorama, and I'm going to show you how I have a solid backup system, what I use to back up right there on the job, back up when I get home, and back up off-site. There are a lot of elements when it comes to backing up, including redundancy and, well, just making sure you got everything covered, because if you lose photos, just screams unprofessional. That's all I'm gonna say about it. All right, number one, first thing I do is I like to back up on the job. This is the LaCie DJI Copilot, and what this allows me to do is back up on site without having to bring a laptop. What's been happening recently, I used to bring my laptop on jobs all the time. I'd have a portable hard drive, and then I would, download through their card reader to laptop to hard drive. Don't wanna carry my laptop around anymore. Plus, I certainly would prefer something a little bit more rugged. So the DJI Copilot has very, very simple system, and it is meant to be beat up really, but it's super simple. It does have an SD card reader here. It also has a USB slot as well as a USB-C, and then that little one, was that mini HDMI? Yeah, mini HDMI. And then of course the power cord. So you really have everything that you need right here to be able to back up on the spot, not only your photos and video or whatever it is that you're doing, but your second shooters as well. So my second shooter, I don't want them leaving and having to give me photos later. I want to get them right there on the wedding. This has a really cool interface, easy to use. When you turn it on, this is actually your screen, and you can hardly even tell without turning it on which side is the screen. Now this has 2 terabytes, which is plenty of room for what I do and probably for what you do as well. It's pretty easy to use. In fact, there's only one button, and anytime you plug something into any of these ports, a prompt pops up and you can easily copy. Now this has an SD card slot built into it, but if you're using CFast like I am, then you just use an external card reader and plug into the USB port or the USB-C. Now let's head over to my desktop to show you what I do afterwards. All right, now to plug this in to my computer, which is going to transfer the files right to here. But the organization system and the way that I have this baby set up, that you'll want to see. So this is the LaCie 2 Big Dock, and now it is 20 terabytes, nice and big, but the way I have it set up as a RAID, it's redundant. So really I only have 10 terabytes to use, and then it automatically backs it up. So by the time it hits my computer, I technically have 3 backups. I have them on my card still, I've got them on the Copilot, and then I have them redundant on this LaCie drive. Not technically redundant. The way that RAID 1 works is if one of these drives fails, then we have the integrity of the data still there. We replace the drive, and then everything is happy again. So now let me show you how I organize everything. All right, so this is my drive. Yes, I called it Joy. I organize everything by year. Let's just head into 2020, and then from there I organize it by date. Year, month, day, and then the name of the shoot. I shot a lot in 2020, which is kind of surprising actually. From here, let's go into these family photos. Let's just say I have my originals, which are my raw files, then I have my edits, which are my JPEGs, and then I have any other things that I create like albums, thank you cards, all of that. Having everything organized this way just keeps it in a spot where I can access it very quickly. Periodically, I do archive these jobs when I'm done with them and put them on an external hard drive for safekeeping. Now, the last thing I do, and I think this is one of the most important things you can do as a creative, is to back up off-site. I like to use SmugMug to back up off-site. Let me just go to here. Let me go to my backups. I've been using SmugMug for a really long time, probably close to 18 years now, 15 years, something along those lines. But it's nice, maybe it's because I'm grandfathered in, but I don't have to pay per megabyte, per gigabyte that I am using. So as you can see, I've got my backups all here. Now these are JPEGs, it's not accepting RAW files. And this is one of the reasons when I shoot 1 to RAW and 1 to JPEG so that I can have this off-site JPEG backup just in case my house explodes. That's a nice thing to think about. Not much to really see here. These are just the JPEG straight out of camera shots that I have, and they're just here for safekeeping. I usually don't go into here at all unless actually I'm doing a video for YouTube and I want to show the straight out of camera JPEGs. What I use to show photos to my clients is actually my fifth form of backup, and these are the finished JPEGs, so those end up at end view. So this is how all of my clients see their photos, but realistically it is a form of backing up. This is a really nice system. It's super clean, they can favorite their photos, and it helps me with the whole sales process afterwards. So I really enjoy this, but again, another form of backup. So ultimately, by the end of a job, after it's all done, I have these photos in 5 different locations in 3 sites: my home, SmugMug, and EndView. Okay, editing this video, I discovered that's wrong. I actually have them in 6 different places on 4 different sites, because I send them to my editors, Freedom Edits, and I send them raw files via FTP the day of the shoot or the night after I come home from the shoot. So that's another backup, and they're actually in a different country. So now I've got 2 countries where my stuff is backed up. Yeah, okay. Back to the video. I'm a little crazy about it, but honestly, even with the safety of the LaCie drives in the system, I just want to have as much backup as humanly possible in case Murphy's Law comes true. So that's my system, backing up on the job, on my office site, and off-site in remote locations. It's secure. I've never lost a job. I've actually been very lucky and only have had cards go corrupt once or twice, but really haven't lost a single photo. So I'm wedding and portrait photographer Vanessa Joy here for Adorama TV. Make sure you hit subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss anything. Bye.